in its most basic form. I mean, food is something that we all need to survive. Every single culture has adapted cooking into a thing that has so much greater significance. We mark special moments oftentimes with meals. It's that sort of conduit for intimacy or conversation or just community that I think is really, really special, and I enjoy being a part of that.
Food to me, I mean, everything. It's my passion, it's my hobbies, it's my career. It's like, it's a focal point of everything that I do. I mean, I invite friends over, I cook. My parents come into town, I cook. How are you?
Good afternoon, welcome.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, come on in. So we're in the Center for Wine and Culinary Arts here at Ocean House. This is a unique setting that we have where it's a demonstration kitchen, a learning kitchen, as well as wine storage, and where we host private dinners for VIPs or guests that maybe want an elevated experience in a special setting. All right, so Chef, today we're gonna make a Rhode Island black bass with peppermint, arancini, and an oyster butter sauce. And then we're gonna use a little bit of Iberico chorizo just as a garnish and some basil puree.
I could be like his assistant for this, right? Cooking
Either.
channel style.
Please.
Right?
Either, yeah. So Ocean House is an interesting thing. It is the world's largest historical recreation, in that the building that we are in is about 11 years old. But the original Ocean House was built in 1868. Generations and generations of families came here on vacation during the summer. By the early 2000s, it had fallen into disrepair and the building was crumbling, and our current owner decided to purchase it, demolition it, and build it new from the ground up to be an exact replica from the outside as the original. This is a place that has a lot of special memories for a lot of people. It's always interesting to be here and see people who come back. Or like, I haven't been here since 1960 something, and it's exactly as I remembered it, and it's but better. If you can give me a hand by shucking these three. So these are nectar oysters from Charleston, Rhode Island, just up the street here. If you can chuck those. I do feel like storytelling and the significance of why we do certain things is an important part, and having some sort of narrative that accompanies the cuisine is really what makes food special and makes the experience special. So we don't oftentimes just put things together because they taste good together, but we want to have some storytelling component to it, or a perspective, because if we have an intent and a perspective, then we can share that with our guests, and it makes the whole experience more significant and noteworthy. So,
Do you ever use oysters in your restaurant, Chef Ryan?
The guys wish I would use oysters in our restaurant, but due to my oyster allergy, it's definitely not on the menu very often. Yeah, professional cooking to me is a career. Like, I think it's a choice of craft that you're gonna then pursue as a career. Like, you choose to do this because you're passionate about it, and then you start to understand the disciplines and the respect that it takes to be at a certain level, I think.
When we went about the process of designing and building the space, we came up with the idea of this wines and culinary arts place where we could have some wine storage, as well as a place that really is an opportunity to share our culinary strengths and philosophies and skills with our guests in a more intimate setting. We configured this space to be what it is now, and chose Gaggenau because they are great products, and allow us, with a relatively small footprint, to have a lot of different styles of equipment available to us. I mean, we have, I think, a little bit of everything, and almost anything we can dream up and wanting to share with our guests and teach them about things. The suite of equipment that we have here allows us to do that.
Professional kitchen principle for us is a lot to do with aesthetics and how we carry ourselves, but I think from an equipment and aesthetic side, it's very achievable in a home kitchen to have something that's similar to what we would have in a professional work environment. The combi oven is a perfect example of something that crosses over from my home kitchen into our professional kitchen. The cleaner, the more organized. We always preach this to our team. The cleaner, the more organized your kitchen looks, the better your food will taste. And I think like that is very achievable in a Gaggenau home kitchen with the aesthetic and how the equipment looks. It's very, very gorgeous and pristine. So ultimately it could lead to the best results of the food as well.
The appliances play an integral role in terms of being able to achieve an intended result over and over and over again. That's our job in a kitchen. The appliances provide the framework with which we feel like we can do something or not do something. We had to build a campfire every day. There's no way we could do some of the things that we do without a great kitchen design. Our jobs become exponentially more difficult.
With precision then comes the quality, so you can execute at a higher level, which ultimately, like for restaurants like ours, the guest is expecting when they walk through the door. So to have a higher level of cooking equipment means we can produce better food, which ultimately means we can satisfy and make more people happy.
The creative process is whimsical, but the professional cooking part, in terms of, a guest orders something and it's our job to provide the best version of that dish, it's somewhat a choreographed thing. It's not something that we leave a lot of variables to chance. And so, to me, professional cooking is very much about control, intent, and precision.
That word, I think, like precision, like to be precise, is like so subjective, right? In like so many worlds. For us, I think, our details and precision elevate, I hate talking about myself like that, but like our details, like in how precise we are with our cooking, and all of those things dictate like what lands on the plate at the very end, right? So we always say like all the little details add up to like the sum of the whole, like, and I think like that's precision for us. It's like all of the tiny like things that we do all day turn out a 27 to 30 course tasting menu that just shows like that much better.
I think they compare very well. I mean, I'm down here frequently doing classes, doing dinners, and things of that nature. It does have a very, like as we talked about, this does have a very home feel, but I never feel like I'm at a disadvantage cooking down here at all.
The difference between cooking at home for me and cooking in the restaurant, professional kitchen is maybe the finesse in the final product. I think in both places, I ultimately want to cook and serve and eat something that's absolutely delicious. At the restaurants, we try and make it also look stunning, garnishes, tweezers, spatulas, all those things that go along with it, and the show, right? That how it got to the plate. At home, I'm trying to just ultimately like have something that eats really well. Like, yeah, I'll still plate a salad at home. Like my mother will be like, why did you do that? And I'm like, I think it eats better that way. We'll lay all the cherries out in rows, so every time you take a bite, you get one. I don't know. For me though, that would be like the biggest difference, I guess. Maybe the finesse is a good way to term that. Like there's a lot more finesse in the professional kitchen. At home, just looking for like quality, like just something very delicious ultimately.
I mean, to be honest, the soul of the kitchen space to me is the people that are in it, and everyone has a unique relationship with food, and it's borne out in how they cook, what they use, it starts from product selection all the way to final plating. Everyone has their own set of beliefs and traditions and everything else that they bring into the kitchen, and it's really exemplified by the food that's made there.
Thank you for having us in your kitchen. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure having you here and fun cooking together. So, thank you.
At home it's one thing. In a professional setting, it's completely different in that, it's our job to share a philosophy and a point of view with our team so that everyone can be on board and understand why we're doing what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve through food.